Okay. What the hell happened? What's going on here? There we go. Okie dokie then. Welcome, Jin. If you're feeling down, talk to me at least. It's literally just us here. A friend of a friend in need. Alright, let's do this. Trust me, I know. But even I have to admit that there are some women that cannot be helped. Trust, again, I understand. But there are, again, like I said, she's the kind to follow orders rather than her own feelings. If she were given the order to kill civilians, and if it was Ironwood that told her, you know she would. Just as long as they weren't civilians of Atlas. Mantle, possibly. Other civilians of other kingdoms? Definitely. The only thing I can tell you is just try not to think about it too much because, again, that's her character. Trust me, I know, but you cannot help Harriet. She's, like I said, way too... She's an ace operative, alright? She's an ace operative through and through. One of Ironwood's own operatives. You say brainwashed, I think she made her choice. She believes it's right. As long as she believes it's right, she won't even see. It's not even considered brainwashed. She considered it herself. Let me paint a picture. CL, remember? CL was also one of Ironwood's, military operatives. She defected because she saw past it. She saw past it all. In the middle of all that chaos, she saw past it and decided to go out on her own. I understand, but again, CL was able to see past it. But Harriet decided to make her choice, meaning she's not brainwashed. She truly believes that she's doing the right thing. You cannot help someone who thinks they're doing the right thing when it's wrong. Exactly. I took her in because she came looking for me. I took in CL because she came looking for me. Because she saw that what I was doing was right. Yeah. Do you at least understand now? Or have come to the realization of Harriet's true character? Jin? Trust me when I say, I know. I know, because it was almost the same for Drolta. I'm so serious, it was almost the same for her. You know her. The vampire. One from Castlevania. It was almost the same for her. Yeah, you remember her? It was almost the same for her. Until she looked into her own past and realized. Because back then, she still remembers the fact that she was still innocent and served the wrong people. She was a victim of circumstance. She made her choice, but saw that she could make a different one because I offered it. I'm telling you this because even if you offer Harriet a different choice, she'll bite you. Or kick you. more literally speaking, she'll kick you and tell you to go to hell. Drolta hesitated. She turned away from her original master. Because she saw and recognize that she had an option. Harriet won't. Because to her, we are the enemy. Even if you use your eye to show her the truth. Because even if you use the eye to show her the truth, she won't believe it to be the truth. Again, she thinks we're the enemy. She won't trust you at all. There won't be no foundation of trust at all. That bridge has been burned for us. You know why? Because she aligns with Ironwood. She follows his orders. She believes he is right. No matter what we do. That's fine. That's fine. Just as long as you understand what her character is like. If you want more details about her character, you can ask Tira. He watched the show just as much as I did. But if anything, he has more empathy, and he can understand female characters a lot better than apparently most of us. And I can admit that. I can admit that. Well, that's up to you. But you probably won't get that chance. Ironwood, as stubborn as he is, understands a threat and a promise. He knows I didn't threaten him. I promised him. If he interfered in the affairs of my people, of my family, Atlas will will not even fall from the sky. It'll just disintegrate from where it's floating, like as if it never existed. But if anything, I think I might know a suitable replacement for Harriet for you. But we'll get to that afterwards, okay? I have someone in mind who you'll probably like more. True, but I can give you... If anything, I could set your sights on someone different. Someone who you can add And, well, let's just say she would actually be able to listen. But, anyways, before we begin, I'd like to thank you and the Scions again for patching me up after I bled all over your floor. I owe you my life, and I won't forget that. Furthermore, it was rude of me to run off without saying a word. It's all well and good me claiming my duties here couldn't wait, but a parting thank you was the very least you deserved. My apologies. Oh yeah. Back when, it was just Mary. Nah, I wasn't in the picture for this. And thank you. Now, to business. Commander Kemps entrusted me with a formal reply to be hand-delivered to the Alliance leadership, because it covers everything we discussed, as well as detailing the disposition of our forces. What I need is an escort, 1 or 2 men at most, so we can make it to the wall swiftly and without attracting undue attention. Very well, I should join you in this. General Aldine commands the forces at Castrum Orions. It should be simple enough to see it into his hands. Great. That's just what I wanted to hear. When you're ready to depart, meet me at the pass leading out of the Reach. Dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun. Oh. Question for you. Do you know how strong I was in this, in this time? But the Boundless Dark. What do you mean, the Boundless Dark? Oh, the title? Oh. That's, where is it from? It's one of the titles gifted from advancing so far with Dark Knight. Yeah, I was using that because I wanted to I was playing Dark Knight earlier. Here, this is the appropriate one for Samurai. Musa. Got everything you need? Good. Then let us be off. Oh, right. My question was, how strong do you think I was in this timeline? Like, at this time? Quiet. Hear that? That was a cerulean engine backfiring. Imperials. Ye gods. You have preternatural senses. I didn't hear a thing. I heard them. When you grow up hunting in these lands, you learn to discern the sounds that could mean life and death, be they of a predator or a patrol. From what I'm hearing, we have a 7-man patrol augmented with a single Magitech armor. Wide search pattern. Divided into 2. No, 3 teams. I don't think they know we're here. Well, guys, me, since technically I'm the weakest, but I'm still a monster in my own right. No. If anything, I'm technically to them, like, in the standards of this world, I'm a newbie adventurer at this time. I'm a newbie adventurer, but I have fighting skills that are unnatural for a newbie. The only reason why I'm considered a newbie is because in this world, all combat involves ether. Every strike, every spell, every ability used, every technique, everything is augmented with ether. So it hits harder than you think. And not only that, but technically, it means attacking the soul, not just the body. And with that, I had fully learned how to manipulate my own ether, but I didn't know how to manipulate the entirety of what I had at my disposal. Because I was still minimizing my usage to be able to control it without, you know, creating a fireball that could technically destroy the world on accident. You understand my struggles here? Well, at this time, I had to heavily limit myself on purpose and that technically made me the weakest link of the Scions at this time. So again, yes, I was a newbie adventurer, but when it came to combat, having my ether flowing naturally without overdoing it was difficult. I was still in the learning process, despite everything that Matoya had taught me. Don't know they know we're here. Don't think they know we're here. It's risky, but we should split up and try to take them all by surprise at the same time. We don't want them calling reinforcements. Yeah, yeah, trust me, this was one of, like, when this started, I was not ready. It was a little embarrassing, but I was doing the best I could and adapting as quickly as I could with, you know, the little time we had. 3 teams, 3 of us. Nothing for it then. Where are they? Head north. Telling me and Mary, head north. You should see them long before they see you. I'll deal with the ones to the south. The armor should be just to the west. Lixarius and Mary is best equipped to deal with that. We attack in 5. That should be enough time to get into position. Rendezvous on the east bank after. Any questions? No? Then good luck. So technically, comparing how I learned versus you at that point, I was learning quicker. No, because again, you took months. You took months, close to a year. Me, I had to adapt quickly and trust me when I say all of these events took about as long as, like, from when they unsealed me. Okay. No, because time gets confusing here, and it's up to, like, us, the players, to figure out via the lore. So, like, you, and not only that, but you had guidance from masters, and you had my guidance, actually, technically. So, yes, yours was quicker, because you guys had every advantage. I did not. I did not have the time to try and slow down, and so, yeah, technically you did. You were learning quicker. You had all the advantages, though. Me, I had to learn on the fly, learn mid-combat, and I had to commit to trial by fire because we didn't have time to slow down to try and teach me to figure shit out. So yeah, technically you did learn quicker. Because if anything, throughout these whole events of the start of Stormblood, which is when I joined the Scions in their fight to defend the world, to what's it called? To literally all the way to Endwalker was like the span of, I'd say, 2-3 years. And by the end of Endwalker, I had mastered at least one class, and then and then we had peace. We had peace, and I had all the time in the world to take it easy, learn properly, and then traverse the multiverse. So, Yes, yes, you learn quicker. I'm not gonna portray myself as some deadly threat that was immediately immediately a menace. No, I was still in a learning curve. Well, well, not even speaking metaphorically, but yes. But if anything, a katana, the one advantage was that the katana was the most familiar in my hands because of my time in Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh no, I know you wasn't speaking metaphorically, and I meant it literally too. But a katana around this time was when I picked up a katana because I saw it and I was like, okay, so they do have samurais here. You do have an Eastern culture here. I found it literally while I was looking around the Uldan markets last time, like around the time that we were in Ulda. Like while I was still studying under Matoya. It looks like everything went to plan. Not that I'm surprised. The 3 soldiers I faced didn't put up much of a fight. Most of the Imperials we get out here are conscripts from other provinces with little training and even less conviction. It's grim work, killing men and women like that, but don't doubt that they'd do the same to you if the roles were reversed. And don't you dare pity a man in armor. Conscript or no, a soldier piloting one of those can kill a dozen good men in a blink of an eye. Not that I need to tell you that. Signed, sealed, to be delivered. Right. I believe we rested long enough. We should resume our journey, before someone notices they're missing patrol. And before you ask, yes, technically I have this mount. I have the Reveling Kamui, and it was a gift from what's it called? It was a gift from Lord Heian. More soldiers? I didn't think they'd come this far west. But better to be safe than sorry. We're clear. Only Alliance patrols ahead. You said the forces at Castrum Orions were under the command of Flame General Raubon al-Din, did you not? By Raugr, the Bull of Alamigo himself. I never dreamed I'd have a chance to meet the legend. Ah. Oh yeah, so Raubon has a very big reputation. I don't think you've heard his voice yet. Nah, hold on, real quick. Answer me this. I'm probably gonna give you... Oh, nice. But answer me this. Have you ever heard Raubon's voice? Oh man. I hope they give you the opportunity. I genuinely hope they give you the opportunity to hear it.
It is good to see you again, my friends. I hope you are here to tell me you have made contact with the Resistance.
Well, yep, that's his voice. Thoughts? Are you there? Jin? He... This is the bowl of Alamigo. Jin.
We are, General. Allow me to introduce Monago of Rolga's Reach.
At your service, sir. And may I say what an absolute honor it is to stand before the Bull of Alamigo.
These are not the blood sands, girl. You and I are but soldiers on a battlefield fighting for the same cause.
You can understand how you can understand why he leads his people, but that also speaks for his strength too. Even with one arm, he can, with skill alone, he can put you. He even makes me sweat when it's literally just us sparring. Nowadays too. That means a lot coming from me. He makes me sweat. This motherfucker is still a menace with one arm.
As you say, General. On behalf of Commander Kemp of the Alamigan Resistance, I present to you our formal response.
Good. I'm glad we've reached an accord. Though I was not aware you had suffered such losses.
Well, technically, yes. No. Both. It's literally a shoulder guard the size of a shield. And before you ask, no, he's not a Rogadan. He's not a Rogadan. He's a Hior. The human version of this world. He is like peak Hior. So no, he doesn't have like muscle mass advantage because of his race. No, he is peak human, like the Batman of this universe. If Batman had a fucking arm, the fuck the blood of his enemies, the bones of his prey. I don't know. He's just built different. On God, he is built different.
Aye. Some of our finest took part in the Griffin's doomed assault, and we've been struggling to find new recruits ever since. The massacres cast a pall over the whole resistance, and many who might once have been open to joining us have since thought better of it.
After all of the Griffin's false promises, one can hardly blame them. They have no desire to give their lives for a lost cause.
Oh, and that's his son. That small Lalafell next to him, that's his son.
To them. This is war, and lives will be lost. Yet what we offer is not the fever dream of a madman, but true hope.
His adopted son. I'm sorry, I forgot his name. Genuinely. But, what's it called? Raubon he used to wield 2 blades. 2 legendary blades, but now he can only wield 1. And so the second blade that he used to wield, he gave it to his son. And now his son is the, I was about to absolutely die laughing. Actually, no, I don't know if... Actually, no, I don't know if that's his adopted son. Or his actual son. I'm gonna look this up real quick. Yeah, can't refer to as wrong. Yes, he is adopted. Pippin, Terrapin. Raubon purchased Pippin's contract from his original owner in the Bloodsands, using his gladiator winnings to secure Pippin's freedom and formalize the adoption. Right, okay. Pippin's father sold him into the Bloodsands to pay off gambling debts when Pippin was a child. While in the Bloodsands, Pippin met Raubon, a refugee who was also a gladiator at the time. Raubon used his earnings to buy Pippin's freedom from his owner. He then formally purchased a document transferring guardianship, which began the adoption process. Raubon then tutored Pippin, who trained as a gladiator under his care. Pippin later joined the Immortal Flames, eventually taking over Raubon's duties and becoming his adopted son's successor. Wait, what do you mean, poor woman? Oh. Wait, what do you mean, poor woman? Wait, hold on. Do you mean, Monago? Or are you talking something else? Because Pippin's a dude. No, if the kid was his Well, if anything, he'd have just done the same thing that I did with Mary. Putting a bun in an oven that's too small, but still works. I sent that before. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. No, but damn, that is actually a funny thought. And if it actually turned out to be his actual son, I would. You heard my response. Literally, what I did with Mary, stuffing a bun in an oven that's too small, but it still works. Hamsters and the banana. Except that this one can actually swallow it. Well, my hamster can swallow the banana and ask for more. Infinitely more. Anyways, moving on.
The people need proof of this, Father. Let us show it to them. I say we stand shoulder to shoulder with our new allies and engage the Garleans in open warfare. The Resistance must demonstrate that they can hold their own against Imperial regulars. And with our assistance, I am confident they can do just that. If we can achieve even a token victory, I believe it will serve to rekindle the hope of the Alamegan people and inspire them to rise up once more.
Aye. Once word spread that we'd won a battle against the Garleans, I'd wager we'd have new recruits flocking to us from malms around. The question is, when and where do we strike?
I'm glad you asked. I have a plan.
I was wondering why that one time she legit dragged me off. Okay, no, hold on. No wonder. Literally, after having that tea time with you, I was wondering why she literally took my hand, dragged me off, back to bed, and literally just stared at it for a while. And and was to me she was giving 1,000-yard stare to it. I was like, Mary, are you okay? Oh. No one, yeah, so that's why she was giving the 1,000-yard stare when she literally dragged me off to the bedroom and just stared at it. Just, you know. Yeah. She mumbled something like, "I'm not no hamster," and literally just got to work on it. I was confused as hell, but this answers so many questions. Look in Discord. Oh no, what did you send me? I'm at Discord. What did you send? That was yeah, no wonder. No wonder. Not only that, but while no wonder you're what not only that, but it was like I did spot her looking at the mirror while she was trying to use her mouth. Anyways, our scouts recently informed me of an interesting development at Castellum Valladina, namely the arrival of a shipment rumored to have come from the research and development facilities near the capital, containing prototype Magitech armor. It is our assessment that this armor is to be field tested here, most likely against Alliance forces, mayhap before the day is out. Damn it all, more Magitech weapons? That's the last thing we need. She still glares at me when I yell hamster. Ah. Glares at you. I'm pretty sure you get whacked in the back of the head, like from the flat side of her greatsword. Your concern is not unwarranted, but we needn't despair just yet. The shipment is thought to have contained a single heavy unit and 1 or 2 support units. With a well-laid ambush, we are confident we can destroy them all, hindering the development and delaying future deployment. She tries. And should we carry this out as a joint endeavor with the Resistance, they will have their rallying cry. It would mean dropping all pretense about the Alliance not wanting to go to war with the Empire, but you'd have a lot more folk willing to stand up and fight if they knew they weren't alone. And you were going to have to do it eventually anyway. Exactly. And so what I propose is simple. We harry their patrols to bait them into bringing their prototype weapons to East End, where our Resistance allies will take them from behind. Simple indeed, and well within our capabilities. I see no reason to delay, especially if a field test is imminent. What say you? Assuming the Vice Marshal's intelligence is accurate, I agree with his assessment, and fully support his plan. I shall notify my comrades at once. Understood. I shall have one of my men bring you the details of the plan anon. And we, for our part, will be fighting with the Alliance, yes? I somehow doubt we were intending to sit this one out. Da, ba, da, da, ba. Best served with cold steel. We've been careful to avoid nearly shows of force this side of the wall, but that's all about to change. And when it does, you may be sure they'll send their new toys out to entertain us. I would ask you to participate in this operation, but from that look I see it as a foregone conclusion. My thanks, Mary. Per Pippin's plan, we need to turn East End into an Imperial graveyard. You're a dab hand at this, and I'd be a fool not to use you. Head to this spot on your map, right here, aye. Patrol should be along shortly. Deal with them, then rendezvous with the rest of us at this location. Go well, Luxarius, Mary. If anything, throughout most of this, well, no. Throughout half of this, I was glued to Mary's hip. Technically because I would learn from her example of fighting. I would watch and adapt and take up like her style and what she can do, while also learning precisely how to fight. But in all seriousness, if Raban did date Lalafell, I'm sure I would not be the only person laughing, right? Oh no, that's the thing. If it was rumored that Raban was dating Lalafell, people would think it was the Sultana herself. And trust me when I say nobody would be laughing because, again, there are such things as interspecies, you know, loving and all that. Thing is that each race is too pure for anybody to create a mixed race. So to speak. Simple as that. Funny enough, in that encounter, no, I mean about what we were talking about. Oh, about me being stuck to Mary's hip throughout most of the time here. Well, yeah. My information was inaccurate, it would seem. The patrol never came. Oh. But yeah. Oh, and this is an instance. So, if anything, now you'll see, like, how Mary was back then. At the current power. Because this will drop my level downward a little. Downward to match the instance. All went to plan then. Good. Our scouts report that a unit escorting the prototype weapons has left Castellum Valladina. The resistance is already in position, so we have but to wait for our guests to arrive. Honestly, worst case would be a Rogaden and Lalafell. Yeah, that would be different. But like I said, all of the races are too pure for there to be a mixed breed being born of it. That and naturally, yeah, no, Lalafell would not be able to handle the size of a Rogaden. That is technically strictly forbidden and common knowledge. No Rogaden and Lalafell has ever actually attempted to even fall in love because, well, of that. Because the sex life would be non-existent. Oh, look.
Grim for us after Cartano, didn't they? Oh, how they doubted us. Yet here we are, right as rain, with fancy new toys to put through their paces.
Oh, Grenwatt. Oh, man, I almost forgot about this, dude. It would be like Shaq and a midget. Yes, it would. This poor sod. He didn't know what was coming. Although, technically, I have a very dark place. He has a very dark place in my head. Let's just say because of my inexperience, he actually whooped my ass.
It's like all my name days have come at once.
And as you can tell, he was very arrogant about it. Boasting like crazy that he defeated a Scion. No, you're fine. I understand. It's just that, like I said, technically I was still a newbie adventurer, recognized as a scion, but...
Well, 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 if
You
it
know.
isn't Garland's little troublemaker. I can't wait to see the look on Xenos' face when I bring him your head. That is, if my secret weapons here don't grind it into mush! Attack!
Alright, let's do this. Yes, in this first encounter, he actually kicked my ass.
Get after them, damn you! Now I've gotcha! You'll be weeping blood! Tizona! As a raging bull!
So yeah. What the hells are you lot? Oh. Proud amigo, let none escape. Dun dun dun. Oh yeah. So yeah, right before the they destroyed the machine, and I was solo fighting Wernrate. I was struggling, and he actually knocked me on my ass, and it hurt.
Damn it all! Miracles of Magitech design, my arse! I passed harder stools than these piles of scrap.
And therefore, he...
You'll pay for this! Mark my words, the next time we meet will be the last!
So yeah, he defeated me, and, well, ended up running away. Successfully escaping.
Aye, run and tell your Viceroy! The day belongs to El Amigo!
What shield? He doesn't have a shield. At least I think he doesn't. Oh yeah, no, his shield is attached to his arm. Yeah, he's a big fucker, and he has a lot of physical strength. Grinroy. But he was technically using a giant, like, oversized hammer from his, that was attached to his back. Like I said, the people of Aetheris are built different and can carry a lot. Well done, all of you. I call this operation a resounding success. Okay, so cartridges, that's because it did. That's because it did. Can't say I'm surprised. The Bull of Alamigo had an impressive military record before he went west, as I recall. Credit where it's due, Master Kemp. It was Marshal Tarupin who made this plan, and all of you, Resistance and Alliance alike, who carried it out to perfection. Aye, that they did, not a single casualty, for which I'm grateful beyond words. Yes, his shield was a gun. I've no doubt our comrades back at the Reach will feel the same. You forget, the Garleans had to use anything and everything at their disposal, including creating guns out of every weapon that they could use. Because, again, they couldn't channel ether like we could for some of the most craziest and reality-defining shit that we can do. So you have to rely on tech, firearms, and, as you saw, Magitech robots. As well as more technique and skill with weapons than we do with ether. Trust me, I understand. I had the same thought too. Some Madman Fenrir American wizard type shit. Yeah. Yeah. Aye, that they did. Not a single casualty, for which I'm grateful beyond words. I've no doubt our comrades back at the Reach will feel the same. As will ours. It's been a pleasure, General. Until the next battle. Onago, I leave the Scions in your care. We shall return to the castrum then. Luxarius, Mary, Mistress Leveler. Once more, you have my thanks. As Master Kemp said, until the next battle. You can imagine that at this point, Alice was taunting me to shit at the fact that I got my ass handed to me by some cowardly fuck, while Mary just comforted me and said everything is fine. that I was still learning. Yeah, you understand how he makes me sweat now, because you remember that big AoE attack that took a big chunk of that Magitech automated Magitech's health? Yeah, that was Raubon. And it was literally that limit break of his that quite literally killed off the rest of the enemy that was attacking in this battle, including the reinforcements. Oh, you know I would have absolutely given you absolute shit. Yeah, I know you would have, because you're a fucking prick. That brute of an Imperial officer was a force to be reckoned with, wasn't he? A fool, mayhap, but he held his own against the Flame General. See, there you go. I was technically fighting someone out of my league. Literally only my skills or the katana that was foreign to this world was the only thing that helped me stay in the fight for as long as I did till the end. Well, at least until the end. I'd heard the stories, but to actually see you in action... No, talking to Mary. Almost found myself pitying the Imperials. Seriously though, it was inspirational. But you must be tired of hearing that, eh? I'll keep it simple then. Thanks for the help out there. Meanwhile, Monago actually told me that she recognized me as a sign for my own fighting prowess, despite how unorthodox I fought. Because, again, even Alice acknowledged that this guy was at least holding his own against Raubon. And by that default, I'm at least that skilled. Not as strong, but as skilled. Well, there's no reason to remain here any longer. Let's get back to the Reach. Because trust me when I say, even I'm proud enough to admit that I struggled as shit fighting here for the first time and figuring out how to fight with Ether. Welcome to literally my beginning. I'm so serious. Welcome to my beginning. Literally me taking part in the actual story itself. Because, well, throughout literally all of, ever since, like, okay, so, ever since they freed me from the Etherochemical Research Facility, that's no problem at all. But like I said, ever since they, like, towards the end of Heavensward, and throughout all of post-Heavensward, I was stuck with Matoya. Which was, for a good few months, getting a crash course. A very painful crash course on ether manipulation. But I respect Matoya all the more for quite literally hammering it into my thick fucking skull. Yeah. And if anything, you should be grateful that I didn't send you to Matoya, or you would have actually come out paler than you already are. You didn't have to take part in the operation, but you did. You went above and beyond what we asked of you, without hesitation, and for that, we owe you a debt. Our victory may not count for much in practical terms, but its symbolic value can't be overstated. Alliance and Resistance fighters came together to face an Imperial unit equipped with Garlemald's newest weapons and smashed them. The people will remember this day. Okay, I'm tan, not white. Oh, well then, if I did send you, you would have become white. Aye, that marks the beginning of something far greater than any single victory. The beginning of a campaign by a united Eorzea to drive the Garleans from our lands. Promises and platitudes mean naught without action, but the Alliance took the field and risked their lives for our cause. Huh, to think that the last time Gridanian troops trod this soil was more than a century ago, during the Autumn War. Now it's to defend against our invasion. Yeah. So again, be grateful that I took it upon myself to teach you guys ether manipulation. And I didn't throw you to the, well, into the Dragon's Maw. To think that the last time Gridanian troops trod this soil was more than a century ago, during the Autumn War. Now it's to defend against our invasion. Ours is a long and bloody history, to be sure, and it gives me heart to see that, despite our acrimonious past, we can still come together for the sake of the future. Unholy demon in an old woman's skin, yes. Well said, Commander, which is why I intend to go from village to village and spread word of our victory in our new alliance. The people will flock to our banners. Just you wait and see. Luxarius, Mary, Alice, I cannot thank you enough for your assistance. I'm gonna be honest, Alice, even despite the fact that Alice had taunted me like crazy at that moment out in the field, she literally pulled me inside and said, I'm more grateful that you didn't get. And you can tell her I said that. But as I was saying, Alice was actually more grateful that I didn't die. Where men go as one. Owing to the efforts of you all, we have accomplished a great deal in a short time. The Resistance thanks you for your service, Scions. Nope, there they are. Hey! More reinforcements of other Scions. I see operations here have been proceeding apace in my absence. Hold on. You mean Coco? Yes, I did. I reacted to it. Oh. You mean... oh. Hot damn. Okay. Welcome back, brother dearest. I take it your efforts to gather new recruits were successful? Indeed, there were several amongst the Scions ranks that were quite eager to take part in our joint endeavor with the Resistance, whom I am come to present. She came by and asked if she could go shopping in the Artisan District. Oh, wow. Commander Kemp, if I may, my name... My name is Ehrenwald Lentinus, a half-breed, as you can doubtless tell. I'm here to fight for a free Alamigo. For an Alamigo where women like my mother are never made to suffer. I pray you grant me this honor. I'm sorry, wait, what? Oh, right. Oh. Oh, shit. And back to you through Tantra with the outfit. Oh, okay. I didn't know this about Ehrenwald, though. Oh, shit. I was like, wait, half-breed, what does he mean? Because last I checked, they're, like, everyone's just pure-blooded. Even though they can be, like, considered still, like, half, they just remain the same, like, whole one species. But, no. Listen to this. Ehrenwald was born to an Alamigan woman, whom he implied was raped by one of the Garlean occupiers, resulting in his conception. So his dominant trait is being a Heor, but Alamigan. His mother, never mind, burn Garlean to the ground. His mother hated Ehrenwald for his half-Garlean heritage and abused him. She became convinced that he was growing the trademark Garlean third eye, despite this only occurring in pure-blood Garleans, and took a knife to his forehead to cut it out. She soon after abandoned him, leaving him to fend for himself on the streets while he was still a young teenager. His mother's assault left a permanent scar on his forehead, and Ehrenwald took to wearing war paint to cover it up. His mixed-race heritage caused him to feel like an outcast in the eyes of both Alamigo and Garlemald, and he eventually fled the city. Ehrenwald learned that he possessed the gift of the Echo, which is technically the case for most of the Scions, which allowed him to resonate with other people's souls. This led to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn recruiting him. So, yeah. So that's why he wears his hair down and covers his face in war paint. Yes, they do. For an Alamigo where women like my mother are never made to suffer, I pray you grant me this honor. That's what he meant. Oh shit. You are a true-born son of Garabania, same as me. This is not my honor to grant, but yours to freely take. Welcome, brother. With our swelling ranks and the aid of the Eorzean Alliance and the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, I believe we will soon be in a position to seize the initiative. Once our new recruits have received sufficient training, I propose to General Aldine that we draw up plans for an assault on Castrum Velodina. Then in the meantime, we will make what preparations we can. That explains how I got my own version of the Echo by constant exposure. Ah. You did like to hang around a lot of people that had the Echo. But I'm pretty sure you got it mostly from me because, well, unlike the others, they had received it as a blessing with a limited use, and not only that, for each of them, it varied. Meanwhile, in the royal palace of Alamigo. Oh yes, and Mary. Oh boy. Royal palace of Alamigo. Xenos. Yes, it's still standing. Of course it's still standing. Why? This is Alamigo's royal palace. This is not Garlemald's royal palace, it's Alamigo's royal palace. They're just occupying it. It's already, like, you do realize we were able to, well, free Alamigo from Garlemald, right? And they became their own nation. In present time.
Alliance forces have occupied Castrum Orients and taken up positions along the length of the wall. Our patrols have engaged their reconnaissance parties on site, but there have been no significant exchanges, save one. A unit tasked with field testing prototype Magitech weapons was attacked. The weapons were destroyed, with the unit sustaining near total casualties.
I'm sorry, did you...
Near total. Go on.
Oh, right, you only saw the second half of Endwalker, you didn't see the first half. No. No, it is not.
My lord, there was but a single survivor from the unit in question, which falls under my command. According to his report, they were ambushed by a contingent of Eorzean Alliance regulars, abetted by resistance insurgents.
Okay, I think you need to understand, Garlemald has long since lost any and all military power because of the final days. And not only that, remember, they were being used by the Ascians and Xenos, and so, well, they kind of destroyed themselves, and then Xenos just, he was the king's, he was the Emperor's son, and he killed the Emperor, he killed his father, and literally watched the entire empire burn itself to the ground. Now they're just innocent victims. Even I can understand that. Now they're no longer a threat, and now they're just victims of literally being used. No, trust me, you'll find at least a little bit of pity and sympathy for the Garleans. Because literally, I kid you not, they've been living a lie. They were literally, because of the fact that they have no way of being able to manipulate ether like everyone else on Aetheris, the Ascians viewed them as literally the perfect people to control. Literally control their whole thing to plunge the world into war. So, the Garleans didn't choose it themselves. They were literally manipulated throughout the centuries to become the enemy of the entire world. Even I understand that it's not their fault. They've had a long and bloody history of hate due to the Scion's influence, the Ascians' influence. Sorry, the Ascians. I'm sorry if I said Science, but no, due to the Ascians' influence, literally controlling them from the background. You'll learn more. Trust me.
A simple ambush and only one survivor. A fine day's work.
And trust me, fuck that. I'm taking you literally through Stormblood, post-Stormblood, Shadowbringers, and post-Shadowbringers so you can understand and be caught up.
The stubbornness to survive is not without worth. He may live, However, the 12th is no place for the weak.
Ooh.
He shall be relegated at once, my lord. As you say, the 12th is no place for cowards who count their lives more precious than the cause.
Uh-oh.
Indeed, indeed. We have no need of cowards.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
My lord,
Cowards who defer critical missions to their subordinates, who hide within their castra, never meeting their prey in battle, never staring into the whites of their eyes.
You're watching, right?
Why? When confronted with a heretofore unknown icon, did we surrender the wall to the Alliance? Because my honored father, in his infinite wisdom, has not seen fit to grant us leave to march on their lands. Accordingly, we have extended an invitation to our neighbors. Gir Abania is where we shall host them. The field upon which we shall enjoy the sport of kings. Patience is paramount. Cornered animals may have spirit, but they are ultimately predictable and very poor sport. But if one dangles the promise of freedom before them while nipping at their heels to stoke their passion, then things become interesting. It is a delicate dance, one which asks much of my hounds. And so I put the question to you, my fellow huntsman. How shall we deal with these savages?
So you understand more now of Xenos' thought process, his character? He's willing to use anything and everything just for the sake of the thrill of the hunt, of the battle, to fight and to fight people of equal measure, to continue to fight and grow stronger himself. Abandoning any and all thought of empathy for anyone else. He's quite literally the meaning of apathetic hunger.
My lord,
For
I have
strength.
a proposal.
Silence, Alamegan! You do forget yourself! Only by the grace of Lord Van Baelsar were you afforded a place here, and that in name alone. We have no need of your proposals, savage.
Yes, she is Alamegan born.
This savage yearns to hunt her own. The floor is yours, Commander.
Mm-hmm. Of course, he recognizes strength.
My lord.
So of course she gets to do as freely as she wishes. Right then, I've got duties to attend to. Mayhap we could assist you with said duties. We are here to help after all. The three of you have been busy, so I will understand if you require time to rest. If not, however, it would seem sensible to assist our allies with their preparations. We'd be grateful for any and all help you can offer. If you ask around, I guarantee you won't want for work. Alright, so right now you're just going to be seeing precisely just Mary going around to do as she pleases. Meanwhile, I decide to go around on my own to do what I can to help. Sorry, hold on. Oh, but real quick, literally while everyone was left to their own devices, let's just say I had a happenstance encounter. Can I ask, who are you going to suggest instead of Harriet? Oh, if anything, I will let you know after my Sabbath class. Trust me, I got you. I beg your pardon? The man who bested Gaius von Belsar wishes to offer me his assistance? Oh yeah, Gaius von Belsar. The guy that Mary defeated. I say, this is highly irregular, though I have heard it said you had a penchant for aiding the common man. In which case, before the occupation, I was a humble historian. While my duties leave me scarce time for aught else, I think it important that these momentous events be recorded for the benefit of future generations. Real quick, Jin. I'm gonna send you something in DMs about what kind of happened while I was left to my own devices. Yeah, I already read all this. Primary sources are indispensable, and I had a mind to question a number of my fellow freedom fighters, ask them their motivations for taking up this cause, and so forth. And I sent it to you. Okay, also I'm fixing to get a shower, so you're on my speaker so I can listen to the stream. Okay. But I just sent it to you on Discord. You may take down their statements on this log, and Mary, thank you for your services, now and ever after. Okay. Oh wow. All the way in the Temple of the Fist? Alright, so this guy wants us to quite literally look around for, well, things, well, to ask people of Rauger's Reach for, well, their own versions of stuff. Whatever. Let's do this. Why did I join the Resistance? Well, if you must know, it was to avenge a friend the Imperials butchered before my very eyes, back in Alamigo. We owned a stall in the markets, and a passing soldier snatched up a piece of fruit. He spoke out before I could stop him, only to get a foam of steel in the gut for his troubles. I found my way here, and that was that. Aren't you the Icon Slayer? Damned if I know why you'd bother asking someone like me why I joined the Resistance, but it's simple. If I wasn't fighting for Alamigo, I'd be fighting for the Empire. You're either with them or not, and if you're with them, you may as well make the most of it. Food, training, citizenship. If you live long enough, you'll die stealing someone else's land, like as not. That's a choice. But me, I'd rather die here. Why? Why indeed? To save lives, perhaps, or to make amends for the ones I couldn't. My father and my brothers were worked to death while building a castrum. What did it matter to the Garleans, eh? More where that lot came from. After that, I couldn't keep on doing nothing. Oh, poor Aurelia. Oh, and Aurelia's the Aurelia's the technical, how do I say this? The doctor of Rauger's Reach. She looks cool for a ninja. I was just a cook before all this. Simple fare, really. Had a chance to lend a hand and help find... Interesting. Help feed some refugees one day. I took a liking to the fighters. They believed, you know? And there's always a need for cooks, or at least people who can work with whatever the foraging parties turn up. Well met. Well met, Mary. Have you spoken with the freedom fighters as I asked? As fascinating as they are varied, you have a knack for convincing others to bare their hearts to you. I could not have done better myself. Many years from now, when these tempestuous times pass into memory, their accounts will serve as a window into the struggle. We must never forget, my friend. Never. Alright. That's one of those quests down. Let's start the next one. A dash of green. You want to help, do you? Seeing as how I'm in no position to leave the stew pot unattended, could you go and ask Tebe for a variety of herbs? 6 sprigs or so, whatever he's got on hand should suffice. It's not as haphazard as it may seem. Depending on the recipe, it doesn't really matter what sort you add, so long as you add something. I'll be here when you get back. Herbs, is it? 6 sprigs of whatever's on hand. Afraid I can't spare that much. You'll take 2 and be glad of it. Oh gosh. The remainder you'll have to gather yourself. Shouldn't be too much of a bother though. You'd be surprised what you can find growing underfoot, even in the Reach. Oh gosh. So, I get 2, now I have to search for the other 4. Fantastic. There it is. Ah, there you are. Got those herbs I asked for. Thanks. That'll do nicely. And, sorry to impose upon you, ma'am. Thought you were another new recruit. Didn't realize until after that you were, But to answer the question that's probably on your mind, yes, it's always like this. Never enough food or supplies to go around. All the more reason to be grateful when our countrymen can spare some for the cause. Though that comes at a cost, too. Too many villages, too many children more deserving than us. But a man can't fight on an empty stomach, can he? So we partake, as we must. And we never lose sight of the dream. Ye wayward brothers, you look like a strider in search of comrades in need. If so, I have a task for you. Yes, I'm talking to an Ananta, battle maid. I am a trainer, and I was told to expect new recruits this day, yet nary one has come. Perhaps they were given the wrong time or location. I do not know. They number 5 in all. These would be warriors. They number 5 in all. These would be warriors. Send them unto me, should you chance to find them. I know, I'm late, but I had to say a prayer for my sister first. After what the Imperials did to her, death was a mercy. Oh boy. Almost afraid to know exactly what they mean by death being a mercy. A fiery recruit. There he is. Training? Gah, I was so busy practicing to impress the others that I completely forgot. Thank you. Oh, a brooding recruit? Really? Thousand pardons. So preoccupied was I by the question of whether Alamigos should be a monarchy or a republic that I neglected to attend my training. How silly, I know. Until we drive the Imperials from our lands, the question is moot. Okay. Oh, an earnest recruit. The teacher calls for me? I see. We were discussing strategies for disabling Magitech armor, you see. And, yes, of course. There is no time. If you would excuse me. Huh. Literally, there are no recruits that are getting cold feet at all whatsoever. Oh, never mind. Faint-hearted recruit. Oh, bugger, you were sent by the snake, weren't you? I heard 1 in 4 recruits doesn't live through their training. That can't be true, right? Oh, bugger. Oh, bugger. Ah! No way. That's actually funny. Just as I say, I'm like, oh hey, all the recruits are, all, earnest and, well, ready to actually do training. All the new recruits. Just to find that one who's literally does not have the heart for it. All recruits are present and accounted for. My thanks to you, Strider. Not all appreciate the rigor with which I train my recruits. Some favor a gentler approach, as if the Imperials will be so kind. 'Tis a thankless job to teach, some say, but I say their survival is thanks enough for you. Thanks enough. Fare you well. That last bit was not me trying to over-exaggerate. That was precisely what was said. A swarthy resistance fighter, huh? Token of faith. Damn it all, where could it have got to? Fair enough. Oh, pardon me, fellow lover of freedom and justice. You haven't seen a ward of the Destroyer anywhere, have you? Maybe on the ground, as if a certain bloody fool had dropped it? I'd been him. I had it this morning, that much I know for certain, and I've not left the Reach since, so it's got to be around here somewhere. If you've got a moment to spare, would you be willing to help me search? I spent some time near the Temple of the Fist earlier, so it might be there. As for me, I'll look around near the officer's pavilion. They're hardly rare, I know, but I could just as easily buy another, but even so, please, help me find it. And he runs off. Alright, guess I'm going to near the Temple of the Fist. So I'll be away from my phone, but I'll be listening, I promise. Yeah, do you, bro. Oh, wow, this person's a new sage. Oh, and they're level 89, but they're still new. Oh, no. A war... Oh, it's not even showing. Oh, well. There we go. I swear, I've searched high and low, but it just won't turn up. A ward of the Destroyer. 7 hells, that's the one! That's my lucky ward! You're a godsend, sister. Before I was born, my mother made a pilgrimage to the Temple of the Fist, where she, like many others, received the blessings of the monks. And then Theodoric came and burned it all to the ground. The mad bastard. And after him came the Garleans, who cared even less for our beliefs. But I still keep to the old ways, so do many others. Oh, okay. And when my son is born, I'll teach him the stories in the scripture, as my mother taught me. Ba-da, ba-da-da. Okay. I was about to say... Fucking hell. Crossing the Veladina. And with that, another task is complete. Ah. Mary, I hear you have been keeping busy. Aye, that he has. And we thank him. And we thank her for it. Especially Lixarius. Being extra busy. Yes, this is Monago talking. It pleases me to inform you that our new recruits have completed their initial training and stand ready to contribute. As discussed, Monago, I would have you present my proposal for an assault on Castellum Veladina to General Aldine personally. Of course, sir. Are you and yours planning to return to Castrum Orions before the operation? If so, why don't we travel together? It seems a fine suggestion, but I must consult my comrades ere we depart. Very well, I will wait for you at the pass, but not too long. I expect Kryl and Y'shtola will wish to remain here to support the Chirurgians, but nevertheless, we should go and ask them. And it's at this point that I am now back with, I am now back at Mary's hip. Oh yeah, and because I actually got defeated, I ended up having to be whisked away to the infirmary. Literally the moment I got back to Rauger's Reach. Y'shtola and Kryl, well, did actually tease me about it. Is aught amiss? I see. That would explain the sudden flurry of activity outside. This joint operation makes a turning point in our conflict with the Garleans. For the first time, the Resistance and the Alliance shall go on the offensive. an attempt to capture an Imperial outpost in occupied territory, Alphinaud says. Oh, shoot. Alphinaud, continuing to speak, personally, I believe it is imperative that we offer them our full support. As was the case with Ishgard, however, this is not a choice to be made lightly, nor less on others' behalves. This is war, and every scion must decide what part he or she would play. I'll fight. Lise. I'll fight for Alamigo, for my father, for Yida. I'm in it to the end. Alice, the choice was made for us ere we were born, brother, when the Empire marched on Eorzea. They will stop at nothing to subjugate or slaughter us all. Von Belsar and Von Darnus were but the first to try. Alphinaud, though your fervor is surprising, I cannot dispute your logic. At the risk of repeating myself, I am, of course, of the same mind. The present situation is untenable, and further complicated by the existence of Ilvbird's primal. I believe we have no recourse but to directly and openly intervene. Y'shtola, I thought this a foregone conclusion given our actions thus far, but if you require renewed affirmation, then yes, I am still wholly committed to this cause. For it is ultimately the selfsame cause I have served since first I pledged to serve Master Louis Soir and the Circle of Knowing, the salvation of Eorzea, by any means necessary. That said, I shall refrain from taking the field on this occasion. There are many here who require further treatment, and doubtless more to come after. Krile, I came here from Emphilia, and that hasn't changed. However, I'd like to stay with Y'shtola for now, and tend to the wounded. As for you, Mary, Lixarius, you are, to quote our dear friend Lord Edmont, the man who slew Gaius von... talking to Mary. Who slew Gaius von Belsar and some half-dozen primals besides. Your presence may well prove the difference between victory and defeat. Many look at you as a hero, and heap great expectations upon your shoulders. But you, like every scion, must decide for yourself. I mean, for Mary's response will be, we can but carry on. For those we have lost. For those we can yet save. Well said. Well said indeed. Alice, take care, Y'shtola, Krile. Do not hesitate to contact us should you require assistance. Lise, I would ask that you remain here, by Conrad's side. We should go, or Monago will leave without us. No, Alphinaud. Alphinaud, might I persuade you to join us, Mary? Lixarius. Should you wish to give your decision further consideration, Castrum Orions would seem an apt place to do it. You need not answer right away. I'm sure I can convince Monago to wait a little longer. Alright. Now, one moment while I go use the bathroom real quick. I do need to pee. Jin, you have to read what this man Zuki is saying. On God, bro. Oh my goodness. Anyways, moving forward, you can look at it after your shower. So you will be accompanying us. Full glad am I to hear it. All set? Excellent. Then let us be off. Ah, fuck it. Here we go. Welcome back, comrades. What news? Says Ravan. Monago. Greetings, General. I am come at Commander Kemp's behest to brief you on the latest developments at the Reach. Our recruitment efforts have exceeded expectations. In addition to welcoming many motivated young Alamegans, our ranks have been bolstered by the arrival of a number of experienced veterans, thanks in large part to the efforts of the Scions. As a consequence, we are now able to field half a dozen new units, more being trained as we speak. Good. Raban, good. I gather Conrad is eager to strike while the iron's hot? Just so, General. He proposes that we begin preparations for a joint operation to capture Castellum Velodina. Capture Velodina? That would not be easy, Pippin. It will, however, be necessary if we are ever to push east towards the capital. There is no profit in There is no profit in delay. It is only a matter of time before the Garleans learn of our plans and summon reinforcements. The Alliance hereby accepts Commander Kemp's proposal. Tell him to take no chances. Bring every able-bodied Alamegan who can wield a weapon. Pippin, I want Velodina watched. Assess its defenses. Every fortress has a weakness, and I would know this one's. Ali say, if there is no objection, General, might the Scions join Marshal Terupin? Raban, by all means. That is all. Let us be about it. Conrad and the General are of one mind, it seems. I only wish I could say the same. While this aggressive strategy may well profit us in the end, what losses will we suffer in the meantime? Anyway, we should speak with the Vice Marshal about this reconnaissance mission and see how he would like to proceed. In Crimson it began. Thank you for volunteering to join me. It should be a fairly straightforward reconnaissance mission, so long as we do not have the ill fortune to run afoul of an Imperial patrol. Come, our destination is beyond East End, just north of Velodina. The Spiderweb Chronicles. New. Nope. Miss me with that bullshit. A tracer antline is crazy. Oh? Wait, what? An instance? With Pippin? This ought to be close enough. Now we settle in for a long watch. That said, it will be prudent to keep your weapons at the ready, in the event a passing patrol stumbles upon us, or worse. Upon reconnoitering, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Oh boy, oh right. Jin, are you here? I'm definitely going to need your attention on this. I don't even know what this will entail.
Excellent. The disposition of the Imperial forces is exactly as expected. I will notify Father. Cannon fire! Where did it come from?
Smoke! There! Is that... Oh, gods, it's Ralga's Reach.
Welcome back. You're here just in time. For a very important development.
It's no use. I think someone's jamming our communications.
You don't think... Could this be part of a coordinated attack?
Too early to draw conclusions. We must abort the assault and return to the Reach at once.
Ooh. And yes, this is gonna happen at Ralga's Reach. Yes, it is, but watch what's happening here.
Forward! Forward! Give them no quarter!
You!
Mefrid, no.
Traitor! Kinslayer!
You're no kin of mine! You!
Oh boy.
Well,
Yeah.
well.
Xenos.
Stand aside, Pilus. This one has promise.
Have a care, my lord. She's not like the others.
Do not disappoint me, girl, or I will kill you.
Seven hells! It's him! It's Xenos!
Oh, he's a mage.
The Viceroy? Oh, you are a dead man!
Oh boy.
Ah!
So spirited, and yet so empty.
Blocking with one hand is crazy. No, it's not a minigun. It's a rotary. Just literally just for him to pick any of his random swords that he's taken off of dead enemies.
Please run!
Ah, a magical barrier. Alas. It will not save you.
Oh shit.
How? Yashola!
Hold the line, Byrolga! Hold the line!
Yeah.
Kryl!
Alphino!
We saw the smoke and thought we heard explosions. Are we under attack?
The Imperials were all over us before we realized what was happening. No one knew where to run or what to do. It was chaos. Lise and Master Kemp rallied the guards and bought us enough time to get some of the wounded to safety, but I haven't seen either of them since.
No, this is unrelated. Remember, this was before me and her even had any romantic feelings to each other. To me, I was just another student of Matoya's, a survivor of her teaching. If anything, this was expected, considering what our jobs entailed, what our actions, our decisions would bring us to, the possibility of what would happen. I accepted this. I don't bite at Xenos' name for this. It's more like everything else that happened afterwards. And you'll see why.
Confound it! If we lose the Reach, this will all have been for naught.
Arenvold, can you escort these people to the wall?
Aye, sir.
I was actually relieved that Monago had at least survived and was being escorted out.
Our place is at the Reach. We must offer such aid and succor as we are able. Saving lives is now our paramount concern.
If we can hold back the Imperials until Father sends reinforcements, we may yet turn the tide.
I'll join you. I've done all I can for these people, and you'll be crying out for a healer in there.
I fear you're right. Come, there is no time to lose.
Here we go. So you'll see. You're gonna see what has happened for me to gain one of my biggest scars yet.
It's all over now!
Came from nowhere. Started cutting people down left and right. Reinforcements are on the way. Spread the word. We should keep moving. I don't need nothing for it but to fight. These people had surrendered. It's not too late for the others. We must hurry. Yes, the Imperials were trying to execute innocents. Ones who had surrendered. Beastmen? Wait, what? They took Lise and the others deeper inside. You've got... Bloody Wolfman. Here we go. Poor Dola.
Rebel scum!
And there we go.
What took you so long? Alpha, no, I need your help! My lord, the prisoners!
See to your men, Pylus.
And this is when we first meet. You still watching?
As you command, my lord.
Your friends were a disappointment. But you will entertain me, will you not?
I kid you not, the first time he spoke and I met him, I actually truly felt somewhat afraid. My hairs was standing on end. I felt my inexperience with him.
Be gone!
Ooh. See what I mean?
Here, give me something to remember.
And this is where I gained my first scar in Aetheris. I took the hit for Mary. He cut me, but his blade broke.
Pathetic.
Yeah. You can imagine that this was... that this is where I got the other giant cross across my body. The giant scar across my body. He even had the Bull of Alamigo hesitate to attack him.
Shall we give chase, General?
Nay. There has been enough death this day. See to the wounded.
Aye, sir.
Yeah. It was that bad.
You all right, lad?
I was the one who took the hit, so I couldn't say anything.
To best the likes of you, Xenos is not what I took him to be.
But Mary still, well, felt a lot of the brunt force, but I took the cut. Even she had to fall to her knees.
Don't you die on me, Ishola! Hold on!
Don't worry, it's going to be all right. Alphino, Master Kemp is all yours.
So, yeah. Me and Y'shtola gained scars that day.
Don't just stand there gawping. Hold her down while I work.
Mary was the one to help out. Meanwhile, I was still being healed. This was ethereal damage. This was not something I could use my reverse curse technique to heal. So yes, it left a scar.
The worst is past, but without the proper facilities, I can do no more.
Master Kemp too would be better served in the infirmary. Let us take them there without delay.
Give us a hand, would you, Lise?
Of course.
Now, here's a quick little heads up for you. Imagine if I didn't have any ether to defend myself. Oh yes, but real quick, imagine how much more worse, because if you cannot defend against ethereal damage, no ether defend against it yourself, you will have very serious damage from even a tiny prick. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, but I'm talking about, yeah, that, but in general.
I know you must be exhausted, but there will be others who need our help. Leave these two to us and look to the other wounded.
That's why I literally had you guys train up on ether. Just because if you had, well, traveled without it, like, had traveled through my Theris without it, it would have been a problem for you guys. You guys would have gained new scars that would never have healed at all. You did well, Mary. You saved lives. No matter what happens, remember that. So right now, Mary's the one currently awake. I'm knocked the fuck out. Now then, let's do what we can for the wounded. Every minute counts. I'm gonna end it here because Sabbath class had started already. And I still have that to do. So, and I gotta rewind a little so I could catch up from the beginning. So, yeah. We'll continue after. Alright? Alright. Peace out, broski.